Fons, another 3-day win. The mood in that changing room must be incredible.
Oh, mate, it's unbelievable. You know, the guys are absolutely ecstatic. You know, they've obviously worked hard. We've asked a lot of questions of them to keep coming. You know, it's our 7th game. To keep coming after each session is a tough ask, especially for the bowlers at this time. But they just keep raising the bar, mate. You know, and I'm just so proud of every guy that has been a part of that squad for the last 7 games. You know, because everybody that's come in has made a massive contribution to this team.
And 4 wins in a row, 5 in the opening 7. If I offered you that on the eve of the season, you'd have snapped my hand off.
Yeah, listen, I'm absolutely completely lost for words. You know, you kind of look for guys to just make progress as a team. We've had plans in place from the start where we've had conversations, like I've said before, you know, and those plans seem to just work, and it's got us focusing on processes more than outcomes, where the outcomes have just automatically looked after itself. And it is just amazing to see the buy-in from the group, because it's all good and well you have all the plans, you know, but you ultimately need the buy-in from the whole squad. And I've got to doff my hat to the lads. They've been absolutely fantastic to a man.
We were made to work for it today, particularly in the afternoon by Lancashire, but as we've said all season, that the patience is a virtue. It will, and it has paid off again.
Yeah, we know that this game of 4-day cricket is not going to be, you know, you kind of look at each session. You obviously want to win every session possible, but having played 4-day cricket, there's a few guys that have played more. You know, we kind of know at some point that they were going to fight because they're a quality team. They've got some quality players in the side. Yeah, so we were always prepared for a bit of pushback from them. But as we keep asking the guys after or just during each session, by the start of each session, we want our group of players to be more desperate, you know, and to kick back more, to kind of want the ball more, or to make sure you're batting for as long as we can, you know, and as I've said, up until now, we've passed every challenge that have come our way.
With the ball today, Logan got us off to the perfect start. He was fantastic. Rahan coming in towards the end of the innings as well. Who or what impressed you most with the ball?
Yeah. You see, I kept getting asked these questions about the bowlers and who kind of impresses me. It's like asking me to pick one of my favourite kids, you know, which is something I don't want to do. Yeah, so I'm going to answer that question with this answer where, you know, there's always somebody that steps up. And that has been the pattern throughout these 7 games we've played, where the team needed somebody. There has always been a bowler or a batter. There's always been a partnership, you know, batting and bowling partnerships. There has always been a guy that has put his hand up, and to me, that's a sign of a good team.
And one of those batting partnerships came yesterday, a club record between Rahan Ahmed and Lewis Hill. Rahan's first-class best, and Lewis ending that drought. You know, that meant so much to him. How impressive were those two? Yeah,
no, I think we all kind of rocked up yesterday morning, you know, thinking that it was always going to be tricky to bat in those conditions with the bowling attack they have. But the way those two went about it, finding the balance between attack and defence, was awesome to see. You know, there was times where I thought Hilly was trying to impress me by trying to make the T20 team, you know, but at the same time, you have to trust these guys to just go and play the way they see it, and he obviously fancied a few bowlers at the time, and it most definitely paid off. But that partnership there could be a season-defining partnership.
And just finally, heading into the Blasts after the momentum that we've built in the Championship, must be a lot of excitement heading into that comp. Yeah,
of course, there's going to be a lot of excitement. That's a completely separate entity. You know, got to have a new captain. There's going to be some new voices in there. There's going to be kind of change of staff, so to speak. You know, got Sean arriving tomorrow. Dutchy's not going to be with us. Dutchy's going to America. Ben Green's going back to Somerset. I said to him he's going back to Somerset on loan, which everybody laughed. Yeah, so there's going to be a few changes, but it's a fantastic time to come into that change. You know, it's currently in a good place, and we'll tackle Friday night as positive as we can, and we hope we've got a good support base in on Friday night.